Well, it's good to get back to the fort. You know, it was a long week. Glad we're coming back here to the fort. Just
it's always refreshing to get back with you guys.
Yeah, you know, it's good to see you. It's good to see you, Kaz. Good to see you, Angela.
Meh.
Well, always the wonderful.
Why are you meeting us out on the sort of front lawn area out here?
What's going on?
Usually we see Fritz. He's usually pretty welcoming to us. I don't see anything. All I see is an open door. But it looks very like welcoming and inviting, right? Like the windows are open, the doors are open. It's very like
an open house or something.
Is he selling
the fort? Yeah, is he selling Fort Fritz?
Wait.
I don't understand what's going on. I mean, I guess we should just go in and see, because usually Fritz is
look at
right
this.
here.
There's he's either selling the house or he's getting married, because there's like a pretty fancy like flower petal sort of path that I'm seeing here.
Oh, maybe he's getting romantic with us. Maybe he's finally going to commit.
All of us?
To all of us.
He's not going to be able to handle all of us.
Oh, he will.
No, God, no.
You guys see this pamphlet he has here?
What's that all about?
What is this?
Pamphlet.
What is this?
This is
I don't
high
like
quality gloss sort of printing, though. This is nice. What is this like?
It looks like a religious pamphlet.
It definitely seems like he wrote this, right? Like, just says.
Yep, a lot of grammatical errors and spelling errors.
He gets his point across. It's
a pretty simple point. It's just
this is definitely Fritzian text, though. So, it's a lecture today at 7 p.m. Is that what, like?
That's like right now.
Right now?
Right now.
That's right now. Okay, well, I guess there's a lecture hall?
If we follow the flower path, we'll get there, I imagine.
I guess, yeah.
We'll find something out.
Either that or I think he's going to propose. I just think he's going to propose
something
to all
is at
of
the
us.
end of this flower petal path.
I can hear
what
people.
Are these?
I hear people.
Ooh.
Like a few. Like more than a few.
Is he holding another like rave dance party? Remember that?
Oh God, not that again. That's when the wolf shows up and everything.
I don't hear any music though. I just hear this
that.
sort of like fevered, sort of impassioned.
Is he selling art again or something like that? Or
no,
he sold most of the art. Made a bunch of money.
This sounds more instructional. Let's we got the like classic double doors here. Let's pop in. If we're quiet, no one will notice that we sneak in the back, right? Like just pop in and
okay. Let's take a look and see what Fritz is up to.
Jesus Christ. Look at how many people
there are a lot of people in here.
Why are there so many people in here?
Where did he get all these refreshments for them?
Which is why I've rewritten many religious manuscripts. I feel like it only takes a big dummy, a really big dummy, let your imagination wander, when I say, you don't mean anything. It's like this, okay? Maybe you were in college. Maybe you rushed. You got into a fraternity or a sorority. How badass were you? How badass were you that you belonged to something bigger and better than you? You were an elite son of a bitch. You were the person who was really just taking the world by the taint ass and twisting it around your fist. That's why our group,
what type of fraternity was he in?
Did he say taint?
Something about taint.
A taint ass.
Twisting a taint
ass. A combo. Taint ass. I don't even know what that is.
For it truly takes a dog in the house of cats to realize that the greater good is to belly up yourself to your master, and the master is, of course,
Fritz!
No. The master is you.
What type of bullshit is he doing up there?
I really don't like this anti-cat speech he just did.
Yeah, that is kind of fucked up. Is he kind of proselytizing up there? Is he like...
Now,
these people are touching him.
I know. A lot of people will out there intrinsically ask, Fritz, how can this cult be about you?
Cult.
It's because this cult is not about you. It is about you. Look all around you. Yes, the cult is about you. It's called You, the cult of you. But of course, I am the leader, Fritz. And that's why you need to give me not all of your money. Let's just say a little bit of it. Just sort of, kind of, figure it out.
You guys, this is really...
This is messed up.
What happened? We were gone for 1 week and it starts a cult? What the fuck?
And don't most cults not like being called cults? He's really embracing
they don't
the cult.
care. They don't care.
I give him a lot of credit for being really open about it.
That's right.
Now, I know that a lot of pundits out there and armchair religious types will say, oh my God, Samantha, oh my God, Anthony, oh my God, Clark, oh my God, Willie, you're in a cult? That's when you say to them, why? Do you think a cult is bad? Because of course not. A cult is not bad at all. It's because of the conspiracy theorists and the international cabal of anti-cultists. Because, hey, look, like, people don't want you to know this, but now that you're a part of a cult, you're better than them. Say it with me. You're better than them. Fuck yeah, you are.
Dude, he's gone total Alex Jones. This is not good. He's gone Jim Jones, Alex Jones combined.
Alex Jim.
So many
Alex
Jones.
Jim.
So many Jones.
It's all the bad
Jonestown, Alex Jones, Jim Jones.
Dr. Jones.
It's bad.
Let's all give me 15 all Hail Mary jumping jacks. Let's go, 15. Come on.
Oh, he hasn't doing calisthenics. That's so lame.
I mean, but they're doing it. That's
They're really doing it.
He's got a room full of people doing jumping jacks because he just told them to. What the fuck
Like
is going
Fritzercise going on or something like that. I don't know. It's like Fritz
You right
Roomba.
there. Frank, why are you doing this? No, you're doing it for you. You're doing it for you. Catherine, why are you doing this? No, you're not doing it for you. You're doing it for you. Come on, guys. Come on. Get with it.
These people are so lost. I feel really bad for them.
To
on?
look
What about
towards
these guys right here? Like, they look like, what are they, like a biker gang or something? They're all wearing...
That's a mirror.
Oh.
That's a mirror, dude.
That's us.
Yeah,
us.
that's us. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
All right, now,
Pretty
mandatory
badass
silence.
Yeah, that's like a...
Mandatory silence for 8 minutes. Oh, hey, guys.
What the? Oh, hey, I guess he saw us. I guess he saw us.
Mandatory silence for 8 minutes. I'm going to go talk to my friends.
Shit, here he comes. Okay, act like everything's normal. Act like everything's normal.
Hey,
act
buddy.
Like, hey, dude.
Hey, man. Hey, what's up, Angela, Kaz, Mandaddy?
How you doing?
What's up?
I didn't think you guys were coming over. Did you guys get my text?
Oh, no.
No, we always come here. We always.
This is
come
normal
here.
time, yeah. Did we cancel for today?
No,
or-
I canceled.
Oh, you did?
Oh.
Actually, you canceled.
How did he do if he didn't know
What
he
was
did?
the...
Well, you, my cult, you canceled.
Oh.
So
Wait, you called us your cult?
you canceled tonight.
Wait, are we the
The
cult or
name
you
of
the
this
cult?
cult.
No, the cult.
The cult's on
The
third.
band, the cult is here?
Come on, guys. You canceled tonight, so that's why I'm saying, why did you show up?
You showed up because you is having a cult rally, apparently.
See, this is typical. This is typical with non-believers. You try to ensnare my mind. Not going to ensnare me. No snare. No snare.
Dude, it's been a
No
week.
snare.
What the hell
No
happened,
snare.
happened
man?
to you, man?
No snare. No snare.
Fritz,
Always repeating
We're not
things.
trying to snare
Have you
bro.
slept all week?
I found you.
Is you or them you or we you?
Them is
Who
you.
I love you.
But you're talking about yourself, aren't you?
No, I'm talking about you. God damn it, man, daddy.
This is so hard to...
I don't get it anymore. His use of pronouns is really fucking with me.
Get your head out of your ass.
That's where I like to keep it.
Guys, I feel very uncomfortable about this.
Yeah, you should.
Wait, you or you?
We us.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We.
Us.
You're seriously having a cult meeting right now.
Yeah, I thought you guys would like be down for this. Obviously, you know.
Oh my god. I don't like it. I don't like it. Hey, have you guys ever heard of the Order of the Solar Temple?
No.
Not really.
The Order of the Solar Temple, also known as Ordre du Temple Solaire, or OTS in French,
Nice.
or simply the Solar Temple, is a secret society and cult that claims to be based upon the ideals of the Knights Templar. OTS was started by Joseph de Montbreau and Luc Jouret in 1984. OTS is most infamously associated with a series of murders and mass suicides in 1994 and 1995 that claimed several dozens of lives in France, Switzerland, and Canada.
Multiple
Whoa.
places, too. Holy shit.
Jesus.
So backtracking, this cult is based on the Knights Templar, or simply the Templars, were the inspiration that the Solar Temple's ideals were based upon. They were a Catholic military order recognized in 1139 by Omne Datum Optimum of the Holy See. The order was founded in 1119 and active from about 1129 to 1312.
So, a couple centuries.
Yes, this was during the Crusades. The order, which was comprised of the wealthiest and most powerful, became the preferred charity throughout Christendom and grew rapidly in terms of popularity and power. Templar Knights, in their white garments and a red cross, were a prominent force during the Crusades. Most importantly, 90% of the order's members managed a large economic infrastructure throughout Christendom, considered to be an early form of banking, networking across Europe and the Holy Land.
How many percentage? I'm sorry.
90% of the Knights Templar,
Christ.
which may have been the world's first multinational corporation.
And of course it was a cult.
Of course. When the Holy Land was lost, support for the order faded. Due to the secrecy of this order, King Philip IV of France, deeply in debt to the order, because this was a very aristocratic order to be involved in, took advantage of the situation to gain control over them. In 1307, he had many of the order's members in France arrested, tortured, into giving false confessions, and burned at the stake. Pope Clement V disbanded the order in 1312 under direction of King Philip.
Why? He just said, let's just get rid of this, it's not working, or...
Hey, you guys just stop.
Yeah. It was obviously not a good group and becoming kind of...
douchey.
A calamity.
Bad guys. They're bad guys.
They're kind of trying to kill Jerusalem every chance they get.
Correct.
So let's pull back on this.
So much has changed.
You can't give bankers too much power. They get a little crazy.
Right.
Goddamn right.
I mean, 90% of these people were economic people. People that were in the economy, so they were a little nuts.
It's a lot of this. I mean, you can draw parallels with the Illuminati. You know,
Correct.
a lot.
A lot. like a lot. So flash forward to the 1950s. It is believed that the Solar Temple originates with French author Jacques Breuer, who established a sovereign order of the Solar Temple in 1952. In 1968, a schismatic order was renamed the Renewed Order of the Solar Temple, or ROTS, under the leadership of French right-wing political activist Julien Origas.
Now, French right-wing, is that on par with American?
Correct.
Right?
Very conservative.
Fiscally minded with money. They usually have some kind of religious mindset, right?
Correct. Yes. Okay. Basing ideas off of these cult beliefs, Joseph Di Mambro and Luc Jouret had their own separate ideas for cults and decided to combine their crazy and make one big crazy.
What could go wrong? It's two great crazies that taste crazy together.
Joseph Di Mambro was a preacher-esque kind of man among his own cults, and Luc Jouret was a Belgian homeopathic doctor.
It's always the Belgians, man. I keep on telling you, it's always the Belgians. Watch those people.
They have
Watch
really,
them.
really good beer, though.
Yes, they do. They do. And waffles, not too bad either.
Agreed.
But yet you hate them.
Of course.
So they dip their fries in a mayo. Isn't that a Belgian thing?
Oh, I love that.
I do enjoy that, though.
I do enjoy that.
Is that a
really
thing?
love mayonnaise.
That's a thing in America, too?
It's a European thing.
Yeah. Canada, too.
Kaz is so upset.
Well, no, it's just
okay.
weird.
It's all right. Just sit back down.
The Order of the Solar Temple was located in Switzerland, France, and Canada. They had several goals in creating a cult, but their basic goal was to create authority and power they thought the world needed. So there's always this ego of the world needs this whole power and authority over them. Most of the beliefs surrounded the idea that life on Earth was ending. Because of this, the Order's goals were initially based around the survivalist behavior and doomsday prep. Members in Canada even started an organic farm that is actually still in operation.
Wow!
They did something right.
Yeah. Members also stocked up on food, weapons, and ammunition to prepare for the environmental collapse.
That's bad.
And what year is this?
1950s were about when talk started coming along, but about 1984 was when everything really came together.
Oh, okay.
Members stocked up on food, weapons, and ammunition to prepare for the environmental collapse, which they said would be caused by volcanoes.
Hello, Hawaii.
Right?
Hello, man, Daddy. My name is Fritz, though.
One of the leaders, Joseph Di Mambro, was in charge of the cult's rituals and ceremonies. He led prayers and guided members through meditation sessions. He told members that his son was conceived through theogamy, or marriage with the gods.
Yeah.
He also stated that his daughter was conceived immaculately, like Jesus Christ with Mary.
Oh, sure.
Luc Jouret, the other leader, claimed that in a previous life, he was a member of the Knights Templar, for which this cult was based upon, and that he was the third reincarnation of Jesus Christ.
Of course he was.
Using the power that they gave him, Jouret would choose female members of the cult to engage with sexually before ceremonies, claiming that they gave him the spiritual strength to do his holy duties.
Yeah,
Get
they
it?
did.
Get
yeah,
it?
they did.
Get it?
Get it? Holy dude.
Yeah.
Got it.
Low-hanging fruit of a joke.
And the last member, Gary, thought that he came back as a pink flamingo one time. He's like Gary in the corner.
No one liked Gary.
Which is fabulous. And did you know that a group of flamingos is called a flamboyance?
Yes, it is.
Luc Jouret, who was the homeopathic doctor, was interested in attractive, wealthy, and influential members, and let it be known that several affluent Europeans were secret members of the group.
Always.
Members of the Order of the Solar Temple had to pay to move up in the organization. Duh. There were initiation fees, and gifts were required to be given to leaders, and mandatory tuition. In exchange, members were let in on the cult secrets and promised salvation upon the return of the second coming of Christ. People left the cult once they realized their leaders were living the life from these fees.
It's just a frat for crazy people.
Basically.
It's a crazy people's frat when you, like... But somehow, I don't know, they didn't get enough of it in college or whatever. These are not, like, poor people that get into
It's just
cults,
like Eyes Wide Shut sort of thing is what I'm
haven't
feeling.
seen that.
Yeah, it's
What?
just like
Yeah.
massive
Is it a
orgy
thing?
parties.
Yeah.
It's a movie, yeah.
Oh,
It's-
shit.
Yeah.
Feature length, the whole thing?
Oh, yeah. All the way through.
In English?
Most of it.
Damn.
The movie trailer's at least 2 minutes.
So over 6 years, the Order of the Solar Temple gained about 400 members, and they were grouped into 3 different sections, 3 different levels. The Amanta Club, the Arcadia Club, and the International Knighthood Organization.
But club?
Yes.
That's so lame.
It is very late. People want to be included. I feel like that's what a lot of
Club.
cults
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
are based upon.
Oh, yeah,
People
that's-
want to feel like they belong somewhere. So the Amanta Club was for members who were basically just spreading the cult's message. They would do, the ambassadors would give lectures around the world about their doctrine. And then the next level up was the Arcadia Club, and they were allowed to know a bit more of the cult's secrets and were promised the reward of coming closer to a quote-unquote higher consciousness.
Mm-hmm. Elitism, all right.
Woke.
Or going
Wokeness.
clear.
And one had to be hand-selected to reach this level. The highest circle of the cult was called the International Knighthood Organization, which involved secret initiation rituals, and its members had access to publications others did not.
Winn-Dixie coupons.
The library.
Yeah.
Jouret gave presentations around Switzerland discussing things like love and biology, and using his degree, he was a homeopathic doctor, to kind of give him some credibility about
Right.
this.
So much credibility.
These talks
I'm a
started...
pseudoscience doctor.
Doctor!
In quotes.
Listen
Yeah.
to me, I know things. These talks started to have a rather apocalyptic message around the eventual self-destruction of the Earth through environmental disasters. With his and DiMambro's solutions for how to be among those who would survive, going into their survivalist tactics. Of course, that eventually wasn't enough to keep people engaged. You know, because everyone's always like, climate change, what a bunch of hubbub. So with their quote-unquote credibility, internally and externally starting to wane, the new message emphasized that life on Earth was an illusion.
Nice.
Elders told members
I like
that their only hope lay in shedding their earthly bodies in order to be reborn on an unnamed planet or orbiting the dog star Sirius. So Joseph DiMambro's son, who he said was conceived through theogamy, you know, the marriage with the gods, eventually his son, it's a French name, Elie, E-L-I-E, started to question the family organization the older he became, which one should. When news came out that visions presented to the members were actually holograms and special effects faked by Elie's father, he started to get vocal about his suspicion that things weren't on the level. Several people quit the cult in response, and his son walked away from the quote-unquote family business. This was a huge blow to his father's credibility and plans for the transition, which is also known as the mass suicide, which soon came after.
Damn.
Several days before this first mass suicide, DiMambro recruited about 12 of his closest and highest ranked followers. They recreated their version of the Last Supper. DiMambro took on the role of Christ and led everyone through this traditional dinner, and this inner circle actually was aware of the murder plans that were forthcoming.
Wait, so they were eating, like, this was
actually
their mass suicide.
the knowing Last Supper for them.
Holy shit,
Him and
that's
like 12
badass.
people.
So
That's extremely badass.
It's nuts is what it
That's
is.
extremely nuts and badass that you were like...
It's badass and nuts.
So yeah, they knew the ending to their own like cult. Their own
You're right in the
so
script.
fucked up.
Damn.
Holy shit.
meta.
In late September or early October, a 3-month-old baby was killed at the Order Center in Morin Heights, Quebec.
That is not badass.
The baby had been... This is really disturbing, and I'm sorry. The baby had been stabbed repeatedly with a wooden stake.
Wow. So it was a vampire. Maybe they're, trying to protect us.
That's Mandaddy at
It is believed that DeMambro ordered the murder because he identified the baby as the Antichrist and described in the Bible. He believed that the Antichrist was born into the order to prevent him from succeeding in his spiritual goals. Soon after, October 5th, 1994, a few days after this brutal murder of this 3-month-old baby, 53 members of the cult in Switzerland and Canada were found dead, including its founders Luc Jouret and Joseph DeMambro.
What year was this again?
1994.
So I guess they had the internet. They could have emailed everyone. But it's just kind of weird.
A very
how,
basic internet.
Yeah, but everyone the world over committed suicide on this one day.
It's probably a phone call,
Yes.
a couple phone calls, get everything coordinated.
Yeah, I just wonder, has there...
noon your time or noon our time we were doing this? It gets so confusing.
Yeah, was this the first... I mean, maybe you don't know this, but, I'm just curious if this was one of the first instances of a worldwide or multinational suicide pact. Different countries.
That is very interesting because
I didn't
this
think about the
did
multi-
extend... And what's interesting is nothing that I found, because they were based in Europe, but actually the leaders eventually made their way over into Canada. So they were actually in Canada by this point.
They just type in EDN. It's like, oh, everybody die now. Okay.
Everybody die now.
Chat room.
Is that what EDN stands for?
EDN says, everybody die now.
That's funny.
That's fucked up.
So 53 members of this cult in Switzerland and Canada were found dead, including its founders, Luc Jouret and Joseph DeMambro. So the defining characteristics of the mass suicide was fire. Remember that their whole big thing was everyone's going to die in volcanoes. Volcanoes
Burn
erupting.
themselves alive?
And it was what was the name of the cult again?
The Order of the Solar Temple.
Solar Temple.
there you
Cool.
And of course, fire would obviously bring a bunch of authorities to come see what the hell is on fire.
Yeah, you see something on fire, you look at it.
Oh, check it out.
Exactly.
It's burning.
A burned farmhouse in Switzerland held 23 bodies,
Whoa,
and 25 more were burned in ski chalets in another part of Switzerland. The other 15 were found in Canada, where the cult leaders lived. Inner Circle members appeared to have used poison to die, while other members had plastic bags over their heads and had been shot in the head.
Whoa!
Jesus.
They wore white ceremonial robes and were arranged in a circle, feet together, facing a temple.
They really took it all the way.
Yes. And DeMambro's son, Elie, his body was found among these in the mass suicide. But no one really knows if his defection was misreported. Because remember, he was saying he didn't really believe in anything.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was never really allowed for him to defect. Or maybe that he was kind of against his will to participate in this. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Damn.
So that was October of 1994. On December 23rd of 1995, 16 bodies were discovered in a star formation in the Vercors in the mountains of France. It was found later that 2 of them shot the others and then committed suicide by firearm and immolation, which is setting oneself on fire.
And then did the double.
And then in March of 1997, 5 members of the order, so there really wasn't that many people left, right?
There seems to be a lot less of us. Oh, did you type in EDN last night? Did you?
Dude, I didn't even get on until Tuesday. My bad. Shit.
I mean, not for nothing. They are very committed.
Yeah, really. All
We keep
in.
missing the dates. So no, we're going to go 2 weeks from now. I'm calling out of work.
And you wonder, the ones in the farmhouse, did they at least take a sleeping pill or something before it happened, or did they just stand there and burn?
I feel like a lot of people were actually drugged throughout this.
I can see that.
December 1995 was the 16 bodies that were found in France, and then in 97, where 5 members of the order took their own lives in Saint Casimir in Quebec. A small house erupted in flames, leaving behind 5 burned bodies for the police to pull from the rubble. 3 teenagers, 13, 14, and 16. They were the children of one of the couples that died in the fire. They were discovered in a shed behind the house, alive, but heavily drugged.
Were they members of this cult?
I don't think they had a choice.
They were the children of people within the cult,
probably.
so most likely. And by that point, the Order of the Solar Temple was no more, allegedly, though we are not sure.
I feel like if we're standing around, we're talking mass suicide, like master types EDN into the fucking cult chat room, and everyone shows up with your robe on. And you're like, all right, today's the day, and then they hand you the bag, and you put your bag over your head, and then a guy steps up with a gun. And you're like, I thought it was mass suicide. Like, you get to fucking kill me? Like, is this part of Master's plan? Like, can we get another email chain started? Like, I want to know exactly, should you be shooting me in the head?
It hit someone just raise their hand. Okay, before we start, I have a question.
I thought it was suicide. You get to kill me? What the fuck? Like, I'm...
Can I talk to the supervisor?
Exactly.
Is Bob here today? Is it Tuesday? Is Bob here? Because he did not say anything about shooting me in the head.
Well, is it too late to tell you now that the robes have really cool sun back?
You got robes.
Tattoos.
You bought robes.
Yeah.
Oh,
you guys
no.
You have sun robes?
Yeah, they're all measured out.
It didn't strike you as overly culty when you were like...
Well, he's been using the word cult the entire time, so he's really embracing it.
You want to embrace it and take it back, basically?
Does he know what cult means, though?
You are absolutely correct. You wanted to embrace a cult, and that's exactly what I did. So why don't I eliminate I from the sentence and say, you are now my cult.
Uh-oh.
Wow, you just got initiated. You're
Is that
boom.
how that works?
You better pay the fee.
You are we, and he is you, and we are all together.
All you have to do is step up, high-five me, and we can do a grab bong hit right now.
Oh, that's tempting.
Come on,
That's how you get initiated, bruh.
Shit, I mean, I've done fucking way worse shit for that.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, he's in
There
it.
you go.
He's
Oh,
in.
no.
He's in the cult now. He
One
is
of
we.
robes. You got one that fits?
He is on a we.
Pop this
Check
on.
that out.
No, this is tiny.
This
is comically tiny.
I know,
It looks like a mini sundress on
Look,
him.
check
It's
it out.
adorable.
You're in the kids section. It's the other one behind it.
These are all Ultra Boys robes. This
And
is
look-
weird.
Kind of creepy. Kind of creepy.
Embroidered right over the
There
heart.
it is.
It says Kaz.
He's got
Put
one
it
for
on.
me. Hey, wait, I see a Mandaddy and an Angela one over here.
Let's take a little break.
Yeah.
All right, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Cult of Fort Fritz.
Hey, everyone.
Hey?
Hey, you
Hey.
and you. You guys are, hey.
Hey.
You are listening to You,
Okay.
but also You is Fort Fritz,
That's right.
and
Grammatically
I
correct.
am host, Kaz.
You're host now.
You is host.
We is host? I is host.
You is
No,
host.
you.
You is host.
There's
Who is-
no I or we, just you?
Just
Just
no
you.
You understand. She's.
Thank you.
You might be the newest acolyte.
I don't want to be.
You will be.
Oh, man, that seemed really forceful.
Well, I mean, in the way that every you eventually discovers the ultimate truth, right?
Hopefully.
There is one truth, and there is one Jesus,
Ooh.
and that Jesus was an alien.
No.
Believe it or
What?
not of Earth,
Really?
extraterrestrial from a different
That would explain the
terrestrial.
abs. That would explain the abs.
Super abs,
Super.
and they weren't even bulky. They were that
Oh,
kind of
Defined,
Just
but still like you want to touch them.
toned.
Thank you.
Almost like unnaturally symmetrical.
Thank you.
He's got the V.
That's why he's the
Thank
master.
you.
He's got the Brad Pitt
He's
in
got
Fight
the
Club
V.
V.
Yeah.
He's got the V. Of course, he's
Even
got the
guys in the theater saw that and went, what the fuck is that?
V. Well, you can get that. Motherfuckers can get that.
Pants down right above the pubic
Right.
hairline.
Yeah. Which
Right
is
there.
not even a real thing unless
Next
you
door to
have the
Happy
V.
Town.
And you have the V
Oh God, do I have the V?
in your cult of Fort Fritz.
You
It's your call.
It's your
listen.
cult.
Jesus was an alien.
You.
Okay.
Good people of you. Jesus was an alien, and also maybe less males would be a good thing for Earth.
That doesn't seem like a good idea.
You sound like a male, and that sounds like a male-centric
this.
view.
I
is
love
good.
that you've been reading up on my pamphlet.
It's
It's a pamphlet. It's not that hard to read up on.
It's engaging reading.
You don't know.
I actually, this is actually reminding me a lot of the superior universal alignment.
The thing you were talking about reminded you of something?
Yes.
No, not you.
You
On behalf
see,
of
exactly.
you.
This one's
Yeah.
not getting it.
He doesn't
yeah.
get it. He doesn't.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's going to be a problem.
We don't.
Hopefully, this story will help you understand.
Thank you.
We don't want to.
Listen, we is not a pronoun that exists in this plane.
Thank
all
you.
right?
Thank you.
Well, that's
Doesn't
it
exist.
does on this plane.
Thank
We
you.
exist on this plane.
Nope.
Let me tell you about this superior universal alignment cult. Started by a Miss Valentina de Andrade. which is Argentinian in origin. Sounds Italian, but the woman is from Argentina. She's Argentine.
Argentine?
Yeah, it's like a fruit.
So sweet Argentine plum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of tangy.
So Valentina was around 1981, was starting to gain prominence in a very remote part of the Amazon jungle in Brazil as a clairvoyant. And she was providing, I guess, eerily accurate readings for local people regarding situations they were having or the future or whatever. She was the local seer of that place in the Amazon, which is the Amazonian town of Altamira.
High lookout, right? Pretty much like
there you
high
go.
High view?
High
Top
view,
view?
yeah.
Look at you with the big
Overwatch.
brain.
But so that would be in Spanish, which Brazilian Portuguese.
How weird. Oh, well, okay, I thought you said Argentinian.
Well, she is Argentinian, but this took
that's
place in the
Brazil.
Amazonian area of Altamira.
Okay.
Valentina began basically in 1981 claimed to have had a breakthrough revelation that she had been contacted by extraterrestrials and they had given her this divine knowledge about how to escape the impending destruction of Earth that was going to take place in 1989.
It's always that.
Wow.
It's always that. They've always got a good specific date.
It's a good motivational tool. You go around and tell people hey, none of this matters anymore. Do what I say. And enough lost people are probably going to fall in line.
That exact line of thinking, though, makes people go, no, none of this really does matter,
Right.
and then they end up dying, which kind of goes into that psychology of you, God, what is it called when you make something happen?
Self-fulfilling prophecy?
Thank you. Self-fulfilling prophecy. So if I were to tell someone, hey, look, give away all of your money, it doesn't matter. You might be dead in a couple months, a couple years, or you might come back from that. But if you believe that, that's exactly your reality.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Nostradamus predicted the day of his death. I'm like, well, that's pretty easy to do if
if
you're
you
willing to
decide,
commit.
if you write your death in a planner,
And then-
and kind of make motions to kill yourself that day, it's probably going to happen.
Good
Yeah.
chance.
6 a.m., buy sheet cake. 7 a.m., dead.
Right suicide
Dead.
note.
Yeah.
That's a good way to go.
Sheet cake.
Leave
Yeah,
a cake for whoever finds you, right? Not make it such a terrible thing.
Hey, I'm dead, but here's cake.
Here's a cake. Use it for the, whatever.
Do you leave it in the fridge and leave a note that's look in the fridge?
You don't know how long it's going to be.
It's like a super 70 kind of note to get. Do I even want to look in the fridge? What the fuck's in the fridge?
What's in the fridge?
What's in the fridge?
They open it up.
Go
and
look in the P.S. Go look in the fridge.
I would never open that damn fridge. I'd be like, no, not opening the fridge.
Okay. So Valentina also wrote a book, which I like. I enjoy the title of this book. God, the Big Farce.
Nice.
So she basically, the crux of her message was that people needed to shed the negative energies of life in order to be buoyant enough to get on the spaceship to go to whatever place that they were going to go after Earth was destroyed in 1989. So part of that gospel was to leave your children behind. Children were a source of negative energy, which we can all agree is a thing. And they needed to cast aside their children so that they could be lifted into the spaceship.
You're free range kids now.
So she got several people to do this, and I don't know if there's an exact number on.
I think they just hated their kids.
I mean, that's another good.
Do you hate your kids? Join our cult. We got it.
That's another good motivational tool, right? Yeah,
Probably,
the world's going to end, and also you don't need kids. Oh shit, this dude's got a good package. This is a good pitch, sir.
He's got it all. Checking all the boxes.
what a crazy mindset to just look at this life that you've created and just say, if I had one sandwich, I'm eating all of it. Thinking of this child as it's holding me down. I got to get rid of my children.
Oh yeah, we're throwing all this shit out. No more mortgage, no more kids, no more fucking car payment.
That's it.
I'm going out into the Amazon. Valentina's got the answer. Again, the one of the core pillars, sort of casting aside your children, but more specifically that children, for some reason, Valentina wouldn't share with other people that children born after 1981 were especially evil and needed to be cast off immediately and didn't need to be around anyone and even more specifically, boys born after 1981.
Ooh.
They were evil, as she put them.
Kind of agree.
Yeah.
I can
kind
see
of agree.
that. Yeah, I mean, I could see that.
Yes.
1981 through 1989, she had a pretty successful cult following, and there was just sort of people leaving their families behind and going to kind of get ready for 1989, which is going to be the end of days.
Good for her.
Right?
Yeah.
So far, not too terrible. But in 1989, it comes and then it goes, right? And then we're into 1990, and there's then the members of the cult have to kind of reconcile what they've done with this like doctrine of what they thought was going to happen, and what they came up with was that they hadn't lived their lives to the fullest. They hadn't done enough to get on this spaceship to leave Earth, and that they needed to purge more evil from Earth to get onto the spaceship.
What did they define as evil? What did they kind of take as like, oh, well, that's okay, and no, that's bad. Don't
being
do that.
born after 1981 as a male was enough to be evil.
Okay. That answers my question. That theory checks out.
When were you born, Cass?
1986.
Checks out. Checks out.
It makes sense.
Yep.
I wouldn't
The
say I'm
math-
evil. I'm just like, I don't really care. So between 1989 and 1993, 19 children disappeared and 5 corpses were found.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, it took a dark turn, didn't it? You were all chuckly. The crimes were horrific. We're not going to go into the details. You can look it up if you want to. But
We'll be getting into that later.
Yeah, it was. There was
You
some
want horrific. Hold on.
some very horrific things that were done to these boys, and I guess one thing that I will share is that apparently they were used for harvesting of certain organs to be sold to a black market dealer, and this was part of how they were sort of generating funds for this cult.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Whoa.
you can get rid of half of a liver, or like a part of a liver. You could at least get rid of one kidney.
I'll give you
Like-
a kidney and a pinky.
Isn't that crazy?
This is nuts.
That's insane.
We need to cut
Like
this out.
thinking of it like that.
Well, every church needs an organ player.
Yeah.
So most of the children were, identified as indigent or previously missing, etc. But one boy actually escaped. His name was Juan de Clay Pinheiro. He was 9 years old, and he escaped
for
and
him.
actually managed to name several of his attackers and prominent members of the cult, and arrests were made. He named several doctors, several wealthy local land barons, policemen, and he also named Valentina also as sort of the mastermind of this operation. 4 of the men were immediately arrested, and by 2005 or 2003, I apologize, they were put on trial and convicted. Valentina, however, was acquitted of the charges during the trial based on an alibi, which placed her out of the area during the murders.
And that was something that was, I guess, held up.
So this happened in 2003. This is 15 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, but they probably had some kind of evidence that exonerated her, at least.
Well,
right?
so
Or
from
backed
what
up her claim?
from my research, it seems like this is the Charles Manson defense, right? Like she
Oh, yeah.
had people do things, but she didn't herself do the things.
Interesting.
Which, according to the boy who escaped, that was not true. He said that they had she was a participant.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it was. She apparently, I actually looked this up. I did a little bit more research than I normally do, and I looked up their website. There's this cult is still active. They're trying to recruit members. They kind of try to distance themselves from the allegations. But I tried to check it out, and the site is fucking garbage. Like you literally can't click on anything. It's like they thought the world was going to end in 1989, and that was the end of internet technology. Like no further web development was done on that fucking
Wow.
It's
like the Space Jam
It's an
site?
angel site. It's like an angel fire site or whatever.
Nice.
It's like legit, like
GeoCities.
terrible.
Can you click anywhere on it and then just do Control A and just see like where they thought links should have gone, and you can click on.
Ooh, I didn't even
things,
think
like-
about like getting in there and like getting into the Dom team. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, maybe get like, ooh, we can find her.
Oh.
Is this part of the story or
No, this is just ooze. These are like
That's a
additional
thought right
ooze.
there.
Ooh.
I didn't even
Fort
think about
Fritz investigates.
Okay, so no, yeah. So she was acquitted in 2003 and is sought by Brazilian and Argentinian police, but remains at large. Apparently still holds several sermons in apparently Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Huh.
Wow.
That's
Still
capital,
preaching
right?
the same stuff? Still saying Jesus is an alien and boys are bad?
I don't know that. I believe that she's tried to
Soften
the message
Pivot.
a little bit. But yeah, the essential idea is that our religions are a farce, and that she has been given this like exclusive glimpse into what's really going to happen.
Why? Okay, number one, why does she care? And that, like, what is she getting out of this? Just to tell people she's going to be right? Or
Well, no, there was like your classic cult sort of like economic exploitation of like donate X amount of your money, sell all your stuff, give it to us. Like
Gotcha.
these people were living lavish lifestyles based on the earnings they were getting from the cult members. This is all rings sort of similar. When I actually say it all like that, it kind of sounds like kind of fucked up and weird. Maybe I don't necessarily want to. I'm gonna take off the robe. I'm at least gonna take off the robe.
But you look so good in it. You look so
It's
I
pretty
popped
good.
it open,
adorbs.
and
How
I did
you
like
get our direct measurements? It's weird.
Did you measure me?
I've been hanging out with you guys a long time now. Every time I hug, you notice
There's measuring tape.
I'm not really
Like make little
hugging.
notches.
You have like notches on your skin. You like mark it.
Well,
When's the last
time I've been giving you really tight personal hugs? Like
Today,
too
like
close.
all the time.
Like a
Every-
lot.
Too
every
much.
day,
Too
like
much.
multiple times a day.
All right.
You're hugging me right now, and I don't like it.
Well, that's not the answer I had in
Weird.
my mind. So I'm just saying, I always came from a really, really open, loving mindset of measuring you for your rope.
For future cult
But,
robes.
Kaz, let me just say this, okay? You are free to leave you at any time.
See, that is a refreshing take.
But just know that you are dead to me
Oh.
if you leave you. You feel me?
I think I do. Can I sleep on it?
Nope, you're dead to me.
Oh, all right. Well,
Wow,
shit,
that was
that
easy.
happened quick. All right, well, so I'm back out of the cult.
All right, good. Welcome to the
Awesome.
land
Yes.
of the thinking.
Fantastic.
All right.
That was quick.
Now
How
we're
did it
friends
feel?
again.
But because you don't hate you
No,
hate
hell no.
Way-Ho. You,
Yeah.
the
He
royal
leads you.
you.
No, you.
We.
You don't get it.
There's
No.
no we.
Who
Thank
is
you.
you?
You
You
was
is
on
you.
third. You don't. What about this have you not understood? You need to take a break.
We should take a break.
No.
You should take a break.
Say it with you. You need to take a break.
You need to take a break.
Yeah, but say it about you now.
You need to take a break.
There you go.
Thank you.
The inflection is a reflection of you.
Oh.
Wow.
So yeah, like I was saying, I was in the cult, then I was out of the cult. You know, I've seen it from both sides.
So what are your thoughts?
I think there are pros and cons, right? Hey everyone, you're listening to Fort Fritz, by the way. We're just having
that's right.
internal sort of powwow to discuss the pros and cons of joining our fearless leader, Fritz's new cult,
That's right.
You.
Yeah, it's a super cool
You.
cult. U stands for you over you, which I think
It doesn't
really
work.
It's meta.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it
That's
kinda,
one of the pros.
I love
Is it really though?
Yeah,
Is it?
It
I
drives
respect
the
that.
point home.
I like that part of it the
Thank
most.
you.
Yeah.
It's very Twitter.
Ooh. Did
It's
you
Twitter
thank
friendly.
you or thank you?
If you think that
There you
there's,
go.
if
You got
you
it.
think that there's,
I
a
thought you weren't in the
distinction-
cult anymore.
I've
You seem like
I've
you're really
said it from both
He's
Yeah, he's
giving
seen it
us
from both
his
sides.
side.
perspective,
Okay.
man. It's just about information sharing. For instance,
Okay.
what is he really? What have we really done today?
Not dick.
Not anything,
Yeah,
right?
not-
What's
Right.
wrong with that?
Not a damn thing.
Nothing, right?
Whoa.
Not really.
My
Man,
So
Daddy.
now
alone.
let's think about it. Go ahead.
What did you do yesterday?
Not dick.
Thank you.
Wow, that's a lot. No, okay,
Yeah.
no.
Nope.
No. Nice try. No you, no you. No you and me.
You
ain't gonna
are
you
starting-
me,
Yeah.
you. You know me and you.
Almost got you.
Damn it. Nice try. That was good, though. That was good. That was really good.
So, right, but I mean, we haven't done anything. We haven't done anything good, but we also haven't done anything like really wrong. We haven't done anything too strenuous or too like, we've just been kind of hanging out in this lecture hall.
There is beer.
Pretty nice.
So, yeah.
I mean, no one's asked me to like work really hard or be like.
That's nice, isn't it?
Right. Like I've just been kind of chilling.
Refreshing.
I know. No one has asked you to work really hard.
There it is again.
You do
there
feel that it's very refreshing.
You do.
Damn it. I got nothing. All right.
Oh,
I tried. I got nothing. Angela, come on. Your best shot.
He's a master.
You.
She's sizing him up. Look at this.
Okay.
Walking, pacing alongside him, looking him up, head to toe.
This is unnerving.
What do you do?
Not
He's
dick.
he's
Not dick. I don't do
trembling.
really anything.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
She
Okay.
cut him to the quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really don't do
All
shit.
right.
Here's the thing, and I mean, you've been really proud of it being a cult and using the word you have. Damn it. It's true. You have and you.
Thank you.
Damn it. But here's the thing. I've heard about some cults today, and they all seem pretty bad, and this one seems like the lesser of the ones we've heard today.
Thank you.
But some of them can get really bad. I mean, like, really bad. Have any of you ever heard of the Anthill Kids?
No.
It's like the Apple Bottom Gang.
Oh, God, no.
Okay.
Don Knotts would not be involved with any of this
Are
shit.
you sure,
I
though?
guarantee you. Not even the cast of Humps would be
Ooh.
into this.
Oh, say it ain't so, man, daddy.
Trigger warning for humans. This is a horrible story. This is as brutal as it gets. There's no animal mutilation, but people, oh yes, people have really bad things done to them in this story. If any of that bothers you, turn away now. Full disclosure, this is a horrible story. The more I read about it, the more it's just about the horrible stuff that happened in the cult. There's very little about their preachings, their ideas. There's very little about that. It's just more about the horrific stuff that went on with this cult. So if stuff like that really shocks you, you're in the wrong place for the next few minutes. So this next story is NSFL. NSFL not safe for life. Strap in, kids. We've all heard about different cults from around the world. From Jonestown to the Bhagwan
Jonestown.
to the Heaven's Gate. Well, none of them could hold a candle to the sheer brutality of the Anthill Kids. Formed in 1977 in Ontario, Canada, under the control of Roch Tharo.
How do you spell that?
ROCHTHERIAULT. Now, it started as a splinter of the Seventh-day Adventists. Roch would hold detoxifying sessions and group meetings, helping people get off drugs and alcohol.
Seventh-day Adventists, they're more the vegetarian.
It's about health.
Healthy eating, healthy living, healthy everything.
And their Sabbath is sundown Friday, right? Sun up Saturday, I think.
I don't know anything about them.
I believe so.
Interesting.
I couldn't be more of a heathen if I tried.
I'm sorry.
Now, Roch was really, he preached a clean lifestyle, like we just said, really, free of all sins of the mind and the flesh. But he started getting more radical with his beliefs and with the way he controlled his people. He was a very charismatic person, a very controlling, manipulating person, but something about him, people were drawn to him. A lot of it probably had to do with the fact that he was helping addicts.
Right. Right.
He's working with addicts, and I think at some point he realized, I can make these people addicted to me, not addicted to you.
Well, see, I was going like, well, maybe he was trying his hand at, like philanthropic measures, but that makes sense too if he was just targeting addicts.
Right. So, I mean, just people that are can be easy to manipulate.
They need a vice.
Yes, they needed something to believe in. Something to believe in. They broke off to form their own commune in the wilderness near a mountainside, Roch called Eternal Mountain. I love the names, Eternal Mountain.
That sounds like one of the most romantic novels ever written.
It does.
Also, it's my favorite indie album.
So the reason for the move was, of course, God told them that the world would end in 1979 and they must prepare. Every one of these stories involved them telling people the world is going to end and they believe it.
That's ridiculous.
Why are people so afraid of the fucking apocalypse?
I'm looking forward to it.
Is it Patton Oswalt that does the why wouldn't you want to die in the apocalypse? You want to die like a normal ass random like hospital bed death, or you get to die where like everyone else dies the day everything ends?
It
like,
was insane.
Right,
It's true.
exactly.
And you're not going to miss any of your shows. That's the main thing about the apocalypse. I'm not going to miss the new season of Better Call Saul.
Definitely no FOMO.
Word.
Dying without FOMO is probably like
It is. That's all we want.
That's all I really want. Right? Like that's all anyone wants.
At least, you know.
Yes.
Now, the cult, or the group, they never exceeded 40 people. They began to build their own little town, while Roch sat back and watched. He never did any work. That's always the thing with these cults. People do all the work for people, they just sit back. And this is how they got their name, because he thought they looked like a group of ants as they constructed their commune, the way they all worked before him. And so he called them the Anthill Kids. Yeah, like I said, he was a very charismatic and a kind leader. Until he wasn't. It was in the wilderness that Roch began to drink. Even though he preached a clean lifestyle, he himself started to drink, and drink a lot. And things got dark. Very, very dark. He began to take complete control of their lives. He would not allow anyone to speak unless he was present. No one could speak to each other unless he was in the room. All sexual contact had to be approved by him. And all of the women became his concubines, and he ended up having almost 20 plus kids with 9 different women.
So this guy cucked everyone, I guess?
Boom.
Or not to say cuck because that's got negative connotations, but he basically lorded over. He mastered. Yeah. Like, he was everyone's master.
He's the Lord, he took the Lord's night, right? Like that's
he'd often go by the name Moses.
Oh, okay.
He'd also go by the name Moses
really
or
creepy.
You're like, dog, we're Canadian. You're Moses all of a sudden? Like
Canadian Moses is a good name for like a folk band.
Ooh.
Not even not even his best friend was like, that's a really bad name.
I feel
to
like,
pick.
dude, pick something else. Moses is like really famous.
He's got a good Q rating.
Yep.
Once the drinking got to a certain point, began the punishments or purifications. This is where it gets rough, kids. Roch would beat them with belts or hammers.
What?
Wow.
He would force people to cut off their own fingers and toes using wire clippers.
Their own?
Their own. And they'd fucking do it.
What?
Oh,
my God.
no.
I got the screaming jimmies.
Oh, you're not even ready. You're not even close to screaming yet. Seriously, that's nothing compared to what's coming up.
They're just these people
Screaming.
have these like amazingly powerful, charismatic ways. I can't even get a fucking raise at work, and they got like people like 40 fucking people in the woods cutting their own fingers off and shit. Like, what are they doing? How persuasive can you be?
Oh, why can't I be that charismatic that people just
That people
chop
will
their
just chop their
fingers
shit off just
Yeah.
because I tell them to.
Yes.
See, I am. I just don't.
Oh, well,
See,
shit.
it's with great power.
Okay, great.
Perfect.
That was fucking amazing.
That was great.
Members would also have to shoot each other in the shoulder to prove their faith. And as punishments would be doled out for doing anything, for speaking at the wrong time, for just a child crying, anything would have a punishment. One of them would be they would have their body hairs plucked out individually, like almost all of them. There she is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Certain members would have to break their own legs with sledgehammers
Oh my God.
What?
to show their faith. They would also be made to sit on lit stoves.
Jesus Christ.
Children.
Wait, what year was this?
This is 1977.
So these were like gas stoves or like
Yes.
like electric stoves?
No, we're talking burners.
Oh. Branding.
That's worse.
Children were nailed to trees and have rocks thrown at them.
Oh no.
They would force people, including children, to eat dead mice and feces, and Roch would often defecate on them. This guy was a piece of work.
I would've been
but they stayed. They stayed.
Exactly. I would have been the worst fucking cult member of all time. Like, there's like, how do you pitch that? Like, I'm gonna you smash your own leg with a sledgehammer, and then I'm gonna poop on you.
When you say it,
So
like
exactly,
that,
I don't have the persuasion of whoever this is.
Yeah.
That's how it would come.
That's
That's how this order would come out of my
you
mouth.
need to pepper it up a little bit. You know, give a little
Jesus Christ.
little razzmatazz.
Yeah. Flex it out, bruh. Flex it out.
Once again, this is where it gets rougher. That was just the beginning. As his drinking got worse, so would his behavior. Because then the surgeries began. Performed on a dirty wooden table using filthy knives. The most notorious surgery was performed on Solange Boyard. She complained about an upset stomach.
Oh, no.
Bad idea. It was described in a newspaper thusly. Within minutes, 32-year-old Solange, who complained of stomach problems, lay naked on a wooden table in one of the commune's log cabins, wearing red velour robes and a gold-colored crown, the symbols of his proclaimed role as king of the Israelites. The role punched Boyard in the stomach, jammed a plastic tube up her rectum, and performed a crude enema with molasses and olive oil. Then, as she lay silent, he sliced open her abdomen with a freshly sharpened knife and ripped off a piece of her intestines with his own bare hands. The operation completed, Thoreau ordered another follower, Gabrielle, to stitch up the gaping wound with a needle and thread. A day later, Boyard died in almost unimaginable agony, a hapless victim of what police in Ontario and Quebec describe as the most bizarre and violent cult in the history of Canadian crime. But he wasn't done.
Oh, my God.
With this particular person.
Jesus Christ.
He claimed to have the power of resurrection.
He did not.
So he drilled a hole in her skull. And he and all the other male cult members
No.
ejaculated into her skull. Oddly, it didn't work. Who saw that coming? It didn't work. Gabrielle fled the cult because of the horrors that she had endured after that day. But her horrors included, but were not limited to, a blowtorch held to her genitals, 8 of her teeth taken out, and a hypodermic needle broken off in her back.
Right.
However, she still returned by her own volition after all of that. She fled after all that stuff happened, but after a few weeks, or not even a month, I believe, she went back to the cult on her own volition.
Kind of like Stockholm Syndrome.
Oh, without a doubt. This was the power the man held. People would flee, but always, for some reason, come back. Gabrielle shouldn't have come back. Roch cut off one of her fingers, nailed her hand to a table, and cut off her entire arm with a hunting knife. And still she stayed. She finally fled to the authorities after he cut off parts of her breasts and smashed in her head with the blunt side of an axe. Finally, Roch was arrested for multiple murders and abuse and was given a life sentence in 1989. In 2011, his cellmate killed him by stabbing him with a knife. He immediately walked to the guard station, handed over the knife, and said, "That piece of shit is down on the range. Here's the knife. I've sliced him up."
Damn.
Fuck
Whoa.
That's fucking intense.
And that still was not enough for his horrible crimes, really. That was not
Really?
enough. But it proves the power of personality and charisma, because even being subjected to the most unimaginable horrors, the sheep return to the flock.
Okay, I have to be completely honest. That made me do a complete 180. Hey, guys. Hey, look. Actually, you know, I'm gonna walk back up to the microphones. All right?
Yeah, that's probably.
What's on? You look a little shaken,
Just let him
not
do his
stirred.
thing.
Well,
Why
he
is
really
he
does
walking
walk
like
funny.
that?
He really does walk.
The cult
odd.
got him weird.
Is he
He's-
trying to swim
No,
through
it's
the air? It's like
He just kicked
now
the
he's
guy in
like
the
you
ass.
stepping.
I don't know if he's like doing a really slow mosh skank maneuver. He's on
That's
all
exactly
fours
what that
now. This makes no sense.
Not
But everybody in the
necessary.
cult is really digging it. There must be some
Okay.
sort of like symbolism
Shut
going
Shutting
on.
him.
Thank you. I know, right?
That looked windy.
Thank you. Look, guys, I made a huge mistake. Colt's over.
What? I was just getting into this. I was about to. I'm all you, and you are you, and we are you, and all that. And
Yeah, but-
I'm you. Aren't you you? And we're you now, right?
Thank you, Mean Daddy, from the back of the room. Let me just say this. From day one, I said, if we can figure out that all of us are you, then you have succeeded. I think that's it. I think we've succeeded. So go home. You're all you. I'm you. Yeah. Everyone's you.
Did we pass?
How
We
long
passed
did
the
this cult last?
Well, shit. I mean,
like less than a week.
it was a day. I think it was a day. I think it was
Wow,
just
it's
a
really
day.
efficient
I mean, like
cult.
if you look at the pamphlet, like it's printed today and the lecture's today.
Wow, so that's really efficient. Oh, look at him. He's doing a little dance now. He's so happy. It's so adorable.
All right, guys,
No,
be honest with me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you feel enlightened?
Not at all.
No.
Wait, Kaz was thick. Wait.
No.
Okay. I was worried.
I do appreciate that he set a goal for the cult. We reached the goal. Cult's over with.
Sure.
No, he didn't even extend the deadline. Oh, hey, we didn't die. Everyone's not dead, so I'm going to go ahead and continue to be cult leader. There was a finish line, and he brought us to it.
That's really they never really have like the end game.
Right.
The
It's
end game
like-
is always everybody die.
Exactly.
You know, not just like okay, we did what we did. Break.
We're transformed into more woke people, and I think he did that for
Yeah.
you.
I am slightly more woke.
It was.
I'm woke-ish.
I guess it was positive-ish.
Positivity.
You know what's ironic to you? You lost a lot of money by manufacturing robes, and then you not telling you they can also not take the robes with you, and now you are out of a lot of money.
How much did you spend on robes?
Or did you?
I don't think you are enlightened if you are asking that question.
You guys didn't wear the robes. The lining on those things was like nice. It
Really?
was like that kipow, like Chinese floral shit. Like it was beautiful. It was gorgeous.
I might want to get down with some robes, man.
There's a couple in the trash bin. But
Okay. I mean, I'm digging it, but I'm not sure if it's the right thing for me. I've always liked robes.
I keep hearing I and me.
Thank you.
Thank him.
You.
Thank both of me. You.
You.
Wait,
Man Daddy,
Yes.
you aren't getting it.
I am not.
What would make
Why
you
are we? What?
come around to you?
Me don't. We. Me. We.
You.
The thing. The thing I'm
Y-O-U.
pointing. The thing in the mirror. Guy. Him. We. us.
You.
You.
The you in the mirror.
Yes.
The me and I'm him.
The-
You aren't
Look in the mirror.
me.
You look in the mirror.
Why don't you? You look in the mirror.
You is looking in the mirror.
Look in the
You
mirror.
is now?
Look in
Thank
the mirror,
you.
you.
I see you.
No.
You, I-
Now
Stop.
be
I don't-
honest with
No,
Thank
no,
you.
No.
I got this. Be honest with you. What does you really want right now? Say chicken.
For some reason, you want chicken.
Yes.
You do want chicken, don't you?
You do want chicken.
Chicken.
You want chicken?
You
You
absolutely want chicken.
You want chicken.
You want chicken.
You guys want to hit that chicken joint?
You want chicken.
You want
You
to.
want chicken now.
You want a chicken?
now. You want chicken.
You want chicken. Chicken good.
Get yourself a robe. This guy's ready.
You know.
You is ready.
You know.
Chicken.
You know you want this chicken now.
Ooh. It's all you can eat.
All you can eat.
All you
can eat.
All you
Oh, no,
can eat.
none of you touch chicken. This is all you
All
chicken.
you. See, he's not
Thank
getting
you.
the you.
Chicken.
He's still not
No,
getting
he
the you.
know.
No,
You know.
You know chicken.
You know.
That was Fort Fritz. You can find you on Stitcher. You can find you on iTunes. You can find you on Libsyn. You can find you on YouTube. You can catch us on iHeartRadio. Or is it You-Heart-Radio? Just kidding. It's totally iHeartRadio. But that's Fort Fritz. And you would like to thank you for listening. You is Fort Fritz. Thank you.
Guys, get the fuck out of my house. Stop. It's fucking nonsense. Stop chanting. Get the fuck cult's over. Fuck off.